What has 6 legs, is covered in armor, and is basically a walking chemical bomb? It's not an alien Terminator robot, it's a real-life beetle that blasts boiling chemicals out of its bum. Meet the Bombardier Beetle, nature's tiniest pyromaniac, and today's star on CreatureDex. Bombardier beetles get their common name from their unique habit of spraying acidic chemicals when threatened, similar to how the crew member of a bombing plane, a bombardier, releases bombs on enemy targets. There's over 500 individual species of this beetle. The species pictured here is called the Pochinus crepitans. These beetles are usually just a few centimeters long, with 6 legs, elongated abdomens, and relatively small heads. They have a slick armored body that comes in various colors, including black, dark green, orange, and yellow. Bombardier beetles are found on every continent on Earth except Antarctica. Their preferred habitats include grasslands, woodlands, and forests, where there are plenty of hiding spaces. These beetles are solitary and mostly nocturnal, preferring to hunt at night. During the day, they hide under rocks and logs to avoid predators such as frogs and toads. Although they have wings, they don't fly much and prefer running along the ground. Now here's where it gets wild. When threatened, the Bombardier beetle mixes 2 chemicals, hydroquinone and hydrogen peroxide, in a special chamber in its abdomen. The resulting reaction creates an explosive spray that can hit up to 100 degrees Celsius, that's boiling water temperature, blasting enemies with a popping sound and a puff of steam. They can even survive getting eaten by toads and frogs by using their chemical spray to entice their attackers to regurgitate them. Bombardier beetles are carnivorous, feeding on other insects and small arthropods. They tend not to use their acidic spray to attack and chase down prey. Instead, they usually target vulnerable prey, such as the larvae of other insects. You can find Bombardier beetles hunting on the ground or in trees. They also frequently hunt in the bodies of dead animals, which often contain larvae. And now, what would this bug blaster look like in the Pokémon world? Let's meet its fiery counterpart. I'm calling the Bombardier Beetle Pokémon Bombagu, inspired by this creature's explosive power and the Japanese word for bug, which I felt fit well and sounded cute. Bombagu will have a pretty predictable bug and fire typing. I did consider poison instead of fire as the subtype, as it's basically shooting acid out of its bum, but the design I ended up with seemed more fitting for fire type. Fire typing also reflects the scalding temperature of the beetle's spray, up to 100 degrees Celsius. Its Pokédex entry would read, Bombagu stores volatile fluids in its abdomen that it blasts off with pinpoint accuracy. Its armored exoskeleton is heat-resistant, shielding it from offshoots of its own fiery explosion. Trainers are warned not to surprise it from behind. Are you curious to find out what this fiery bug would look like in the Pokemon universe? Meet Bombagu, the Blast Beetle Pokemon.
Bombagu.
It's got the general body shape, long antenna, and armor-like shell of a Bombardier Beetle. In terms of the more Pokemon-like features, it's got an eye-catching red and black color scheme, as well as extra plating and spikes that extend down its legs. Bombagu's fiery orange eyes show that it's always down for a good battle. Stats-wise, I see Bombagu as a final stage evolution of a Bombardier Beetle line, with decent special attack and speed, setting it up well for bug and fire-type projectile attacks. It's got a somewhat decent defense stat as well, reflecting the plated armor covering most of its body. In terms of abilities, I thought that Aftermath could be fitting. Aftermath damages the attacker, landing the finishing hit. When Bombagu is knocked out, it could release a final burst of its fiery spray, dealing damage to the attacker. Swarm is an ability that powers up bug-type moves when the Pokemon's HP is low, pretty common for bug types. And finally, Flash Fire. When a Pokemon with Flash Fire is hit by a fire-type move, it doesn't deal damage but instead raises the power of the bearer's fire-type moves by 50%. Fitting for Bombagu, a Pokemon covered in a heat-resistant exoskeleton and filled with fiery chemicals. What kind of moves would Bombagu rely on in battle? There's tons of bug and fire moves to choose from, and I had a hard time deciding which 4 to highlight. I decided to start with U-turn first. This is a move where the user switches out immediately after attacking, a quick escape move that mimics how real Bombardier Beetles use their blasts to flee from danger. Tail Glow is another potential move, where the Pokemon flashes a light that sharply raises its special attack stat. This is the move I see Bombardier using in preparation to unleashing its chemical spray. Flame Wheel, a physical fire move where the user attacks by cloaking itself in fire and charging at the target, potentially leaving a burn. Bombardier would use this by curling up into its armored shell before rushing at the opponent in a fiery blaze. And finally, Overheat. Overheat deals damage but lowers the user's special attack by 2 stages after attacking. This is the move that I'm picking to represent the Bombardier Beetle's explosive spray attack. So, what did you think? Would you head out into the tall grass in search of Bombardier, or steer clear of this explosive bug Pokemon altogether? What other moves or abilities do you think it could learn? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell if you want more wild animal facts and even wilder Pokemon creations. Until next time, stay curious, and maybe don't sneak up on any beetles.